height is very low. El Chapo Guzman is said to be between 5'5" and 5'6". It's basically custom built for his frame.
Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is one of the most infamous figures in the history of the drug trade, known not only for leading the powerful Sinaloa Cartel but also for his ingenious use of underground tunnels, the tunnel strategy. El Chapo's journey into the world of tunnel building began in the 1980s and 1990s as drug trafficking organizations faced increased surveillance and border security. Before tunnels, traffickers smuggled drugs in cars, boats, and planes, often hiding shipments in hidden compartments or sending drugs by air across the remote desert. However, as technology advanced in the U.S., stepped up border security, especially along the Mexico-U.S. border, the risks of traditional trafficking routes increased. The U.S. government deployed border patrol agents, drones, and radar systems to detect illegal crossings, making traditional methods increasingly challenging. These circumstances spurred innovation in trafficking strategies, and El Chapo led the charge, developing a bold solution to bypass detection underground tunnels. El Chapo and the Sinaloa Cartel took inspiration from previous tunnel-building practices. Smugglers had used tunnels in the past, but none were as elaborate, extensive, or successful as those El Chapo would eventually mastermind. For El Chapo, tunnels provided a covert method to transport drugs while avoiding heavily monitored border crossings. His determination to make these tunnels a core smuggling strategy helped shape the cartel's operations for years. Engineering marvels how the tunnels were built. The tunnels created by the Sinaloa Cartel were not crude passageways dug with shovels and pickaxes. They were complex engineering projects involving specialized equipment and expertise. These passageways often extended over a mile in length and could reach depths of up to 70 feet below the surface, designed to go undetected beneath U.S. border security measures. Many tunnels were reinforced with wooden beams and metal supports, equipped with lighting, ventilation systems, and even railways to transport massive amounts of drugs with ease. The cartel hired skilled engineers and construction workers to ensure that the tunnels were built to withstand the challenges of long-term use and the natural pressures of underground construction. Working in secrecy, these teams used heavy machinery like industrial drills and excavators to dig deep below the ground without raising suspicion. Tunnel entrances were often hidden in inconspicuous locations such as warehouses, homes, and other structures both on the Mexican and U.S. sides of the border. These disguises allowed cartel members to access the tunnels discreetly, load shipments of drugs onto carts or conveyor belts, and transport them across the border without interference from border authorities. Lifts, hidden trap doors, and remotely operated systems, resembling military-grade constructions more than simple smuggling routes. These tunnels required substantial financial investment, often costing millions of dollars to complete. However, given the enormous profits generated by successful drug smuggling operations, the expense was considered worthwhile. One tunnel could smuggle hundreds of tons of drugs over its lifespan, creating an immense return on investment. El Chapo's infamous escape tunnels. But El Chapo's use of tunnels wasn't limited to drug smuggling. In the world and reinforced his reputation as a master escape artist and a ruthless drug lord willing to do whatever it took to evade capture. The tunnel involved in his prison escape was equipped with lighting, ventilation, and a modified motorcycle on tracks, specifically designed to transport El Chapo quickly through the mile-long passage. The level of planning and resources required to construct this escape tunnel spoke to the Sinaloa Cartel's reach, power, and expertise. Cartel operatives had worked tirelessly for months to construct the tunnel, managing to avoid detection even under the watchful eyes of prison guards and government officials. This escape reinforced the Sinaloa Cartel's commitment to tunnels as both smuggling and escape mechanisms, solidifying El Chapo's legacy as a master of underground navigation. Inside the tunnels, what law enforcement discovered. Some tunnels even featured multiple entry and exit points to facilitate faster trafficking and evade law enforcement in case one end of the tunnel was compromised. Investigations revealed that some tunnels connected to warehouses on the U.S. side, where drugs were loaded into vehicles and driven to distribution centers. One of the most infamous discoveries was made in Otay Mesa, California, in 2013, where agents found a tunnel over 600 yards long with a built-in elevator and rail system. This tunnel had been operational for months, allowing cartel members to move drugs without fear of border checkpoints. In total, U.S. authorities have discovered over 200 tunnels along the southern border since the 1990s, many of which are believed to have been built by the Sinaloa Cartel or affiliated groups.